kids from the industry, if they fall, there'll always be a cushion. If I fall, I'll scrape my knees.
Well, it's always a good time when you're speaking to Aditi Rao Hydari. This is our second meeting this lockdown because we've had two releases, but absolutely different. One was romantic, lyrical, and this is just like thrilling, edge of your seat thriller. So what was it like for you, especially V?
How was it like for me to be on?
We, because you were the best kept secret. We didn't see you in the trailer, and boom, when I saw the movie, I was like, hey, she's the catalyst.
I think that was the whole plan. They wanted Mohan sir and Nani and all of us discussed it, and we thought it was the best thing to do is just to keep me quiet. And I'm not one of those people who is insecure about these things. You know, I feel like the story is king, and it should unfold the way it should unfold. And I've worked with Mohan sir before. He in fact introduced me in Telugu cinema. I did this.
Yeah, and Sudhir Babu both.
Yes. In fact, all of us have worked with Mohan sir before. So when Mohan sir came to me with V, he was pretty convinced I was going to say no because Sammohanam was about Samira, and V is pretty much about Nani and Sudhir, and then of course this girl is the catalyst of everything that happens. But the screen time is very little, and he told me that. I was like, what does it matter? As long as I come there and make a dhamaka, I'm fine. So, and hopefully, I hope to do that. So I just immediately said yes. And also I really wanted to work with Nani. I had an opportunity to work with him before that, and it just didn't happen. And he's an actor I really admire. So I really was looking forward to working with him. And then the whole combination of everything, and I just thought it would be fun and it would be good and it would be different. So I did it.
And also you're reuniting with the director, as you said, who gave your debut, Sudhir. And, so was it like being back home on the set again, or, and how have you changed since the time when you made your debut in Sammohan?
So Sammohanam was actually just like a year, I think 2017, so not so long ago. The team is absolutely the same. So Mohan sir tends to work with the same team of people. So all the ADs are familiar. The actors are familiar. I didn't have any scenes with Sudhir, of course, but Nani was one of those actors I felt like I've known him forever. So, Sahiba and Vishnu's love story is the kind where you're literally like in the deep end of the pool, there's no time to warm up, and like in a love story usually you get to know each other, and then here it was like boom, it's just right there. And you have to convince people that these two are completely in love and it's a very, very pure, beautiful love story, and that the entire film makes sense because of this love. There was no time. So it was just like it had to work. So in a way that was quite a challenge, but the whole set and the atmosphere and all was very familiar to me. And I was very happy to be on set, except I have to tell you that Mohan sir, who laughs all the time and has a great sense of humor, I tell him that he's actually very evil, because I walked on the set and he was like, come on, get ready to die. And fatak, they slit my throat. So basically that was my first day of shoot was the climax. I was just like, thanks. Not even a day to feel like, just kill me off on day one. So that was how it went.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the film because, and as you said, you are the catalyst, because for the first hour, I was like, why is he the way he is? And then you come and then you go, as you said, for you, it was the screen time didn't matter. It was being on such a, it's a stellar star cast and you're part of it. You've worked with all of them. But Mohan sir said something very interesting. He says, I want to see more and more narratives with strong female-led narratives. Do you think that is now happening?
It is, because I feel like quite often people also feel like the length of what you're doing in a film determines whether you are important or you are a strong woman in the film, etc., etc. But now I think all that is changing. And of course, it's been happening in Hollywood for years. A Jennifer Lawrence will do a 10-minute part, and Natalie Portman will do a 15-minute part, and they will come in and change the narrative, change the script, change everything. And walk out, for a producer, for a director that they want to work with, or actors that they want to work with. And I feel like I've tried to make those decisions. I'm very inspired by actors like that. I try to make those decisions and I try to be fearless. And I feel like, say, even with a character like Sahiba, what makes her a heroine is her choices in the film. Here is a girl, a simple, really, really loving girl. These two are madly in love with each other. And she gives up her child, her love, her life for justice to protect another little girl, you know. And I think it's like that is what a hero is. That is what a hero does, and
True.
that is what inspires her love to stand up for that injustice, because he loves her so much and because he wants justice to be done. I mean, and he wants her to, her everything that she stood for. He wants it to. He I mean, he wants it to happen, basically. I don't know how better to say. And so I mean, of course, he takes that path, which is not correct. But I mean, it's a film. So now we go with the love and the vengeance and whatever. And we go with that whole sense of justice when nobody else is going to give it. He takes the law into his hands and he does it. So I feel those are what hero and heroines are. It doesn't even take a second to be, a heroine. It's a split-second decision that makes you a hero.
Sure.
So I find that it's like it's all in the writing, and it's in the writing, it's in the direction, it's of course in how you play it. Yeah. So I feel that a lot is changing. So whether it's 15 minutes on screen or 2 hours on screen, you can sort of pretty much be the hero of your story, of the story, in many ways.
And what I'm liking is your filmography and your choice of roles over the years. Like there was London, Paris, New York, Delhi 6. And after that, I'm really enjoying the kind of character that you're choosing to play. Was it something that made you take this decision? Because sometimes what happens is you're aware in a particular industry that you are going to get slated in that box. But was it something that made you decide, let me just do everything? And, what was it, that the gut feeling or your method?
I actually don't do everything. I do very little. But yeah, I mix up my choices a lot. That is true. I think it's also because I don't like to be put into a box. So if people go on saying, oh, she's so delicate, oh, she can't do this, oh, whatever, or she can only be a princess, or she can only be, then I'm like constantly looking for something like
that's the thing, because you look so pretty. They're like, she's a princess and royals. That's what she should do.
But somewhere I'm like, okay, that's not the only thing I can do. I want to do other things as well, which is what made me do Sufi Sajati, because I was like, this is a regular, sweet little village girl, and she is so real and so innocent and she's not got that, poise, and she's not Mehrunisa, let's just say. So then Bhumi also came out of a decision of wanting to do something that was so out of my comfort zone, So like I try to make these kind of decisions, but today I feel my decisions for choosing a film are very different. See, earlier it was more to prove, like sometimes you have that thing where people have this fixed notion of who you are, and that stems a lot from how you look, right? So, and when you're new in your career, you constantly want to prove that you're versatile. So you'll make a decision just to say, look, I can do this also. Look, I can do that also. And I think that also stems from, when you're from the industry, you get a showcase. I can sing, I can dance, I can horse ride, I can stand on my head, I can do cartwheels, I can do this. But for us, it's like one by one it gets revealed, oh, she can do kalari, oh, she can sing, oh, she can dance, oh, she can play this part, oh, she can play that part. So it's like for us, it happens a step at a time. So I feel a lot of my earlier decisions, and I've been working since 2011 now, and I feel a lot of my decisions were based on that. But I feel today, and especially after having done Katrivali Day with Manisa, I feel my whole way of thinking changed. I was like, there is a reason for doing a film, and that reason must be very, very clear to me, and it shouldn't be to prove anything to anybody. It should be because I love that team, I love that film, I'm going to enjoy that journey. That film will hopefully be timeless, will hopefully live beyond my years. And I think ultimately what is most important is the fun that you had making that film, because the result is never in your hands. Yes, in many cases it's great, like V has got an insane acceptance from the audience or Sufi or moment, but sometimes it's not in your hands, you don't know. So what is important? Your creative satisfaction, your artistic satisfaction, the team that's making it, the trust that you have in the people. I think all that, and because I say this again and again and again, because I really believe it, money can buy anything, but you can't buy credibility, respect, integrity. You can't buy art. It's priceless, you know. And you have to earn these things. You have to earn that love. You have to earn that credibility, and you can only do it with your choices. So now I now do it very differently, because I'm like, the only thing I can control is my intention, nothing else. Yeah.
And that's so, I mean, what you've said is so required in these times. As you've seen, your industry, the film industry is coming under severe backlash. There's inside, outside, basically people not being given choices and chances. What's your take on this? Because you also are an outsider. You may have known people, but that doesn't always help you to get where you want to.
You know, I've also been very clear about certain things. Like, I know that there are a lot of people who are very fond of me, or who have grown fond of me, people I've worked with. But I am very clear about one thing, that I never want to put my, my their fondness for me in a tight spot by ever asking them for work. Because I feel that if they think I'm good, or if they have something for me, they will come to me with something good. Which is why I prefer to be like that. And I don't think that they owe me anything, you know. Having said that, I do feel that people in positions of power, people who make these decisions, there is a extra responsibility on them, you know, because I feel like at the end of the day, it should only be about merit, and it should only be about talent, and talent should get opportunities, because till talent doesn't get opportunities, how do we create those amazing artists or those amazing stars? And I think the baseline is talent. And having said that, I'm not one to hold grudges ever. I'm not that person. I've spoken to you so many times before. I feel like, everybody has their own struggles, whether you're from the industry, whether you're not. And trust me, in every industry, kids of the industry do get more opportunities. It's only natural. But then ultimately, it's what we do with those opportunities. And again, kids from the industry, if they fall, there'll always be a cushion. If I fall, I'll scrape my knees. But it's up to me also to dust my knees and to start running again, because I love my work so much. And everybody's struggle is different. It's not like they don't have struggles. They have struggles, so do we. So do I. And I want to somehow, I don't know what other word to use, but I want to get rid of this term outsider, because the moment outsider, insider, because the moment we start using these terms, we're constantly making that gap even wider. We are artists, we are actors. Yes, some people get more opportunities and it's easier for them. But for some of us, we have to just prove ourselves that much, with that much more grit. And I guess we just need that much more belief in ourselves, because quite often, it can really crush you, but you have to, like, really believe, and I have so much conviction in the people I work with, or the work that I do, or I really love it. And I think I'm there because I love it. Otherwise, why would I torture myself?
Yeah, true. Very well said, Aditi. Very well said. And also, since you've, worked in the northern industry, Bollywood, as let's say it, and the southern, which is that one thing that you actually makes the other industry stand out from the other? I'm sure there is. They always say South, they're more disciplined, they're not too heavily into promotions. They're, what is that one thing and that you would want maybe Bollywood can imbibe?
For somebody like me who takes so much pride in being like a pan-Indian face, and, and I feel so blessed to be accepted by these multiple industries, I find it very difficult, and I find it, I'm a very soft-hearted person, so I don't like to compare. I feel like so loyal to all these people and all these industries. So I find it difficult to compare, but I can give you some practical these things. The first thing, I will say is that because film is so much about teamwork, I feel the difference stems really from the team. And the captain of that team is the director and the producer. So, so I feel the way the personality or the working style of the director and the producer, that really determines how different your experience is going to be, not the language, not the region, not nothing. That's according to me. Also, I say this a lot, but I am very multicultural myself. I am from so many places. I
I
have
know.
so many languages in my family, and I'm so mixed. I'm such a khichdi. I'm like literally poster child for national integration. So I feel like because I'm so familiar with these cultures, it doesn't feel so different to me. So like when people say the South is more disciplined and everybody wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, yeah, but my family does the same. I'm South Indian. So I'm used to that. Like I'm used to being at a dance rehearsal at 7 in the morning, regardless of whether I had exams or not. So things, those kinds of practical things are not very different for me. But you are right about one thing: promotions are very different. I remember when I was promoting Mani Sir's film, those promotions were kind of more hectic than any other promotions that maybe they had done for a while. And I remember like we promoted for about maybe a week and we traveled to quite a few cities. And the EP, Shiva, he said, Adu, I'm so sorry. I know we're really pushing you. And I looked at him and I was like, this is pushing. This is a breeze. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry, I can do another week of no sleep.
I'm sure, yeah, that's Mumbai for you, what it does.
Yeah, their promotions are very different. Also, I feel the importance given to like PR, image, uh, that is very important. And there's one thing I do wish, that I do wish all of us in the Hindi film industry. I wish that we were not so accessible to everybody 24/7,
I
because
agree.
I feel like there's a magic, and I look for that magic in the stars that I love, and sometimes I just see too much of them, and it's it could be a little too much, like, because then that whole thing of waiting for their film and waiting for waiting for those little things, little interviews, those, then they become like almost routine. And I find that even for all of us. So I hope that our lot can maybe think about this and maybe do a little less.
Which is so true. And seeing everybody on social media easily accessible, giving their point of view, which is good. But then the backlash, there's so much of toxicity. And I see you keep yourself away from it, which is a very good decision.
Because I prefer that. And also I think it's also the influence that my friends in the South and the way they conduct themselves, and it's also me, but it's also like I'm also like sort of encouraged by them and how they do it. And I really like it. I think it's really nice. It's very dignified. So I like that.
So also, and now coming to you, have a movie with John Abraham coming where we'll see you like 70 years, aging and all. And you had said somewhere that you love stories. So have you started shooting, and what can we look forward to?
See, I'm not going to tell you too much, but I'm only in the flashback.
Okay.
So the whole setup of the love story, which is set in like at pre-partition time. So that is but I don't want to tell you too much about it because it's too new and too again it stems from the same space that I was talking about. Sometimes we just say too much.
Yeah.
And I want like people to just watch it for what it is. But I have to say that we shot now like 10 days ago.
What was that like?
It was actually really amazing, and I have to say that MA and John's company, they are all producing it along with T-Series, and they did like, I was so full of admiration for the way they did it. They were so nice, so kind. I mean, I don't know how to say this, but I think the most important thing is to feel safe and to feel loved and to feel protected. What the reality on ground is, we don't know. We'll never know. But I felt safe and I felt loved, and I really felt very, very cared for. And Nikhil Advani, Monisha, Madhu, John, and everybody on set, all the ADs, Kashvi, the director, the DOP. I mean, everybody. They were just. I mean, it was such a nice way to get back to shoot because they were just so amazing. Like, I will not stop praising them because it was just incredible. And you know, the kind of freedom that John and I had on set was only because everybody else was taking so many precautions. Because as actors, what can we do? We have to be without our masks. So it was really, really nice. And it felt so good. And that's when you feel that sense of, you know, we're in this together. It's a great feeling. It's a very positive, good feeling.
And now you have a movie with Dulquer also coming up.
Yep.
And all of the girls were just absolutely crazy about him. It's just the fan clubs just go crazy.
Yeah, they love him. They love him. They absolutely love him.
Can you tell us a bit about that, or do you want to keep it for?
So that's also a love story, and that is directed by, you know, there's a very, very well-known choreographer. We call her Brinda Master, and both Dulquer and I have worked with her on the films we've done with Mani sir. So she's very familiar to us. We know her well. We love her a lot. It was a great shoot. Actually, we only did one schedule. We have quite a bit left to shoot. Looking forward to getting back to that, but I think we'll have to wait a bit. But it was great working with Dulquer also because I know him. And I always tell Dulquer we're like Tom and Jerry, literally. But it was so nice working with him because again, you know, I know him off screen and I know his wife, and you know, there's a lot of us that, you know, hangs together whenever we're all in Chennai. But you know, it was so lovely working with him because he's such a good co-star. He's so passionate about I love working with like people who share that, you know, that kind of, I'm very OCD. Like I have to get things right and I have to like sort of work hard, and I love it when co-stars like work with me to get that scene, you know, like better it, and it's so much fun. Like even Nani is like that, and I find people like that very inspiring. So it's really nice.
So somebody's actually asked me that question from Nani, Dulquer, Ranveer. You are basically the envy of most of the girls in this country because you've got the best co-stars. Which is that one thing common in them? Is there something common you have seen, or?
No, they're all quite different actually. No, they're all quite different. They all have a great sense of humor, and they're all people I really, really love a lot and have had a great time working with. But no, they're very different as people. So
who's the craziest co-star?
Craziest.
Yeah.
Craziest has to be Ranveer. He can say anything on a mic, anywhere, in front of any number of people.
And who do you think is the softest, like the softie, Mr. Softie on set?
Nani.
That comes across also from his face.
He is just, oh my God, he is just the kindest, nicest, sweetest. And you know, apart from that, okay, forget all that. Why won't he be like nice to me? I'm his co-star. But forget all that. Like, I find that he is such a genuine person. There's no arrogance. There's such a humility towards his craft, towards his work. He's very, very smart. He has a great understanding of script, and because he's been an AD and he wanted to be a director. So I really I have a lot of respect for Nani, like huge amount of respect for Nani, and I find him very inspiring. And I think, you know, like, okay, I'm sure you know that this happens quite often. You're a fan of somebody's and then you meet them and you're like, okay, nice, but shit.
I know.
But with Nani, it was the total opposite. It was like, I liked his work and I thought, okay, he's like very endearing and very like amazing on screen. He really eats up the screen. And then when I met him in person, I was like, okay, now I'm a bigger fan of his. So that's a really nice thing. To go like home with that feeling is great. So yeah, it was great.
And lastly, when was your starstruck moment? Any time you've had on set with anyone, or tongue-tied moment?
You know, I can be quite shy when I meet people for the first time. So they might not know it, but or they might, because everything shows on my face. But I can be quite like, I can blush and be quite like starstruck for about 2 minutes. But on the camera rolls, I'm fine. So I've had that with like pretty much everybody, whether it's Nani or John or Dulquer and Ranveer, I know too well, so I didn't have that. But Nani, John were new to me. Shah Rukh sir. I was at a show in London with him, and he was the groom and I was the bride. when he came on, like we were doing rehearsals that morning, so I had already started and he joined us later. When he came for rehearsals, he said, just like, let me just go through it. I don't want to tire you out. You sit for 10 minutes and let me learn it and then we'll do it together. And I was like, no, I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you. And I started doing it with him. I literally, like, it was so embarrassing. I literally got tears in my eyes. I was so embarrassed. But anyway, like, I managed and I tried not to be such a fangirl, but it was purely embarrassing. And of course, Mr. B, like Mr. Bachchan, when I first met him for Wazir, I was completely like, nothing came out. And I was just like googly eyed. But he's again so much fun and he's got that, he's a lot of fun on set. Like he's always up to something, some mischief. Like he's like a little child on set. It's too much fun.
Awesome. Lovely chatting with you, Aditi. Before we go, all the young ladies want to know what is it that you do with your skin?
Genetics. I see in lockdown, I've not been using any makeup. That has really helped me. Like today also I'm sitting with, I've not put anything on my face. And I feel like it's really like, I'm feeling very empowered with this whole no makeup business.
Wow.
Minimal, like, so I'm going to like totally go for this now. And even recently when I was shooting in Bombay, I was like, nothing, let's just keep it minimal because I realized you don't need it. Apart from that, I guess like just eating good home, ghar ka khana. And nothing can replace feeling happy, like just being positive and happy. I think if you're like genuinely happy, it just shows on your face. The days I'm in a bad mood,
that's the best recipe.
I don't look good.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a bad mood. I've always seen you in a good mood and keep being that way. So 2 movies in the lockdown. I know we have seen it on the OTT space. I'm sure you also as actors may have missed the theatrical experience.
Yeah.
But hey, movies have got good reviews. Everyone's watching them. Nothing beats that.
Yeah, the audiences are totally with us. Audience is king. I'm so happy. So happy.
Thank you so much, Aditi. All the very best. And now it's Girl on the Train right next.
Yep.
All right. Looking forward to that. All girls together. More power. Thank you so much.
Bye. See you.
Bye. Take care. Bye.